What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. You are watching the Blake's Garage YouTube channel, and today we're out in the garage. We're going to be working on some shop upgrades today, specifically in lighting. I'm going to show you guys what I have now and what we're going to be doing. So let's get started. So current lighting in the garage, I have some small 4-foot LED strip lights over the work area. I have a couple of regular lights that are not very bright. I actually even forgot to turn them on. And I have a window. The window is useless when it's dark, so I don't even count that. As everybody knows, you can't have too much light in a work area. It's much safer to have a lot of light where you can see what you're doing. I've got some light fixtures, some flashlights, and an under hood light bar, but they're cumbersome. The batteries run dead. It's just a pain in the ass. So today we're going to be unboxing and installing this. This is a set of Barrina 8-foot long dual row LED light bars. And the plan for these, because there's 10 of them, 2 of those are going to go in between these lights, and they're going to be connected. This light is the last one on the circuit, so I'm going to connect it to that one and run the light bars between these 2 lights. And then the rest of them are going to go on the wall. Yes, I said on the wall. So I added this light switch, and this light switch works these 2 receptacles. There's one there, and there's one on the other side. And what I plan on doing is coming down about 2 feet from the ceiling and running a line and having those lights run about 2 feet down the full length of the garage. 32 feet of light on each side. And the reason for having those on the sides as opposed to overhead is because if you're working underneath a car, say you're changing brakes or you're working on wheel bearings or suspension, something like that, if you have the lights over your head, the fender and the structure of the car is going to block the light. You're not going to get the light that you need to see what you're doing. So having them on the side, right up here, means that they're going to be side lit on the vehicle or whatever you're working on. And then you will have side light coming in and you'll be able to see a lot better. I'm also going to have the ones overhead for the overhead lighting. So it's going to be a surround of light around whatever project I'm working. And I feel like it's really going to just set it off and make it so much easier to work in here. So I'm going to get this stuff unpacked and we'll see what it comes with. And then we'll discuss how I plan on installing all of it. You ready? Let's go. All right, so quick rundown of what all comes in the box. I went ahead and got the 10 light set because I knew I wanted 4 lights on either side for 8 lights total there. And then the 2 extra ones, like I said, I'm going to run on the ceiling. These are the 8-foot long sticks. They also have 4-foot long ones, which are the similar to the ones up there. Those are single row LED, and they have kind of a diffuser cover where these are double row with a clear cover. But it's basically the same thing. It's just a little different packaging. Then you get 5 of these switched cords that plug directly into a receptacle. That's what I'm going to use to connect the lights to that end where the receptacles are, and then just use this light switch to turn them on and off. You also get 10 of the pigtails if you want to use these to wire directly to, say, that light or a receptacle box. And I thought about using these on that end, but I think I'm also going to put one of those electrical extension cord reels on one side or the other to give myself some power options on that end of the garage. And so I just left the receptacle so I can use double duty and plug that in as well. And then you also get 8 of these extension wires. And then you have this option. So these lights have multiple options to be able to connect and connect together. So these options are for connecting them to power. You got a receptacle or a hard wire. And then these options are for connecting them together. So you can daisy chain these 1 light bar with one of these long, I think they're about 4-foot long wires, connect to another light bar, or you can use these small little plastic pieces and connect them end to end, butted together. So you have some options. You also get the clips to mount them to the walls along with the screws. and then some little caps that look like Mickey Mouse. And those caps are to cover the plug holes for whatever end you're not using, so you don't get dust and dirt and bugs and stuff in there. So that's the plan. So I'm going to get started on setting it up on this side first. So the problem's going to be, my original plan was to run the light bars between these two lights, mostly for aesthetic reasons because I thought it would look cool. But I measured this as best I can from down here. It's a 10-foot tall ceiling, so it takes a little bit to get up there. And it's only about 13.5 feet, where these are 8-foot sticks. So that's 16-foot total. So they're not going to fit in between like I had planned. So I plan on running it right beside those lights, and it'll have about a foot, 1.5 foot overlap on either end. So I'm going to get those installed first, because that'll give us extra light to actually do the rest of the work. So let me go get the ladder and get set up, and then we'll get started. All right, so I got the ladder in here. I got my power drill so I can take that fixture apart and get to the wires. Typically for this type of an installation, you would use these shorter little pigtails. But since the light bars are so long and they're going to go so far past that box, it's not going to be long enough. So I think what I'm going to do is take one of these 4-foot jobs and just lop the end of it off and use that in place of this little short wire. That way I have plenty of space to run this wire out to the end of the light bar and not have to worry about the wires being too short. So I'm going to cut the end off of this real quick and then we'll get started. All right, small change of plans here. I went ahead and used the chalk line to mark a line down the length of the ceiling, and then I went ahead and installed the clips. And I got one of the light bars clipped up there, and I'm going to use this butt connector and install the other one and get them centered where I want them before I cut the wire for this end, so that I can leave just enough slack to where it looks good without having a bunch of extra. So I'm going to get that mounted up, and then we'll get it wired, and then we'll have light, because it's, as you can tell, it's pretty dark in here. I can't turn these on because you don't want to wire stuff live, so we'll get that knocked out and then we'll have some light to work with. All right, so I got this light fixture undone, and it's just wire nutted in, and then I run the wire for the light up and over and cut it off and strip those, and then we just connect them up, black to black, white to white, and the green one here goes to the ground wire that's bare right there. So I'm going to undo these wire nuts and switch them out, and then we'll be able to test fire it. All right, so I got everything wired up. I haven't closed it all up yet because I haven't tested it yet, but I'm going to go ahead and go hit the switch and we'll see how it looks. So that's really nice. It's actually kind of bright in here, which is awesome. I really like that. Just those two really makes a big difference in here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn everything back off and close this light fixture back up, and then we'll get started on the ones on the walls. All right, so we got those up. That looks amazing. It's really bright in here, even just those two fixtures. So next step is going to be the walls. And as you can tell, this section is not skinned yet. I just haven't went and got the plywood. It was expensive there for a while with all the shortages. So I'm going to go ahead and run the lights. I plan on skinning this later. I'll just have to take two of the panels or two of the light bars down and put the skin up and then put them back up. But I can get them up for now and then go back and do this later. I'm also going to enclose this area here and just make it all solid wall, so the only entrance will be this doorway here. And then I'll be able to put an actual door in there and separate this section of the garage from the workshop. So if I'm in here and I'm sanding or painting or making a big mess, I'm not getting stuff all over the golf cart, the bicycles, and all the stuff we have stored in here. So I want to separate that section off for cleanliness and give me more wall space here. I could put, you know, I got my Jeep door hanger there. I could hang stuff on this, like tools or lawn equipment or whatever, it's just a lot easier to hang that stuff when there's a wall. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a chalk line popped 2 foot down on either end, and then we'll get the clips installed, and then we'll get one of the light bars up, and then we'll do the other side. Ready? Let's do it. All right, that took a little bit of work, but we got it up. One of the screws stripped out on me, so I had to pull that back out. But as you can see, it's up all the way down. I did a few little things here and there that you may be wondering about, so I'm going to explain that for you real quick. So let's have a look at what I did. So if you noticed, I left this gap here with one of the connector wires as opposed to butt connecting them. I read a lot of the reviews, a lot of the lower scored reviews that said that these lights after a couple of years would go out. And somebody figured out that it was the butt connectors. The aluminum frame of the lights expand and contract so much with heat and cold cycles that the clips wouldn't allow them to slide, and then the butt connectors would come unplugged. So I wanted to make it to where only one light or two lights were connected with butt connectors to minimize that chance. And then I have the wire in the middle here as more of like an expansion joint. So I'm hoping that minimizes the chances of it cutting out after, because it gets really hot here in the summer and that stuff's going to expand, and then when it cools back down, I'm trying to minimize that. And then I did the plug here. I don't know if I'm going to leave it that way or if I'm going to clean it up better later. I do, like I said, want to skin this wall, so I'll have to take off these last two and redo them. But for now, I mean, it looks amazing. There's a lot of light in here already, and I haven't even got the other side up, so I'm going to go ahead and knock that one out real quick, and then we'll see the finished product. Well guys, that's it for this side. Same idea, two bulbs connected together, expansion joint there above the wheel, the reel, 2 more together, and plugged in on this end. I plan on skinning this wall as well with the OSB later on, but it's really far down the list. I got to build the bar over there, that room back there first. That's priority before the summer. So this will do for now. But as you can see, it's significantly brighter in here. That is awesome. You're going to be able to work on everything now. Really, really like this. It'd come out perfect, I think. Well, that's it for this one today, guys. I really feel like this was a great deal for the amount of light that I got. This set was, I think, $180 on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description so you can check it out. And like I said before, they have smaller sets, they have less bulbs, they have shorter bulbs, you know, a range of different options that you want to use for your space. I went big because it's a big space. It's 20 foot wide and 40 foot long. So I needed a lot of light in here. I really think this is going to help a lot with projects going forward, not have to depend on the flashlights and the light bars so much. It's going to make it a lot less frustrating to work in here. Really, really like it. It's going to be good. But for now, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and clean up. I'm going to put all the tools away, get everything put away. I'm going in the house and have some time with my family and relax. Thank you guys for hanging out with me here in the garage. If you like what I'm doing or if it helps you, please give me a like, subscribe to the channel. That way you get updates when I send out new stuff. I like to try to do this types of stuff. I do a little bit of everything. Car work, projects, unboxing and assembly of tools and things like that. So it's a little bit of everything. So if y'all have something in particular you want to see me try to do, send me some comments, let me know. But for now, you guys, I'm going to shut this one down. You guys have a good one and rock on.